Hi everyone, it's Lisa here, and I'm going to be doing some bulk card making. Just showing you how I'm starting off. I'm taking a 2-inch scallop punch and I'm punching out these Joy to the World circles, and some of them are going to be used as embellishment for the background, like just as a scallop, and some of them are going to be used for Joy to the World. So this is just the first batch of cards that I'm going to make. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to cut these 3x4 Project Life kind of cards, and I'm going to cut them down to the 3x4s that they are, and just going to cut each one of those out. I don't know if I showed it on the camera or not, but I also took a 2-inch punch and I punched out some Santas with just a plain circle punch. So just the way the pattern was, I couldn't cut them all out in circles, so the ones that aren't punched in circles, I'm going to fussy cut them out later. And then I'm taking some of the background papers that I really liked, and I'm cutting them 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm not going to bore you with that. I just punched out or cut out a whole bunch of them. Okay, so now I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I punched the Santas out with a circle punch, and I'm saving everything just because those little extra cut off pieces from the pattern paper, I could use them for elements, or for layering, so you'll see that in a minute. I'm just going around each of the pieces with some brushed corduroy. I wanted to use a brown ink, and it was just the ink that was at hand, so I'm just going to use that. Go around all the pieces. I would recommend go over all the pieces that you've already cut and do that prior to. It'll just make the process quite a bit faster. I did not do that. I did it as I went, but I am going to go back and redo or do all the inking of the edges for all my pieces. So I've gone back and I made some card bases. I did craft, cream, and white. So I have some tall ones that are cut to 11 by 4 1/4, and some shorter ones that are cut to 8.5 by 5.5. Those ones you won't see this time around, but some of the pieces of paper are landscapes. So I'm going to make some horizontal and vertical cards. I'm just going to work on the vertical cards for right now. I have 5 here, so I'm just going to spread them all out. I'm going to go through these Project Life cards, and I'm going to just kind of lay them on top of the cards that I think that they'll go best with, and just kind of go with a whole chalkboard theme here. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to layer, find one of these pieces of offcut paper, and I'm going to layer it under or on top of each of those Project Life cards. And that is just going to kind of give me an idea of what kind of patterns I'm going to play with and what kind of ideas or where I need to fill in holes is going to be. So I have these Joy to the World pieces that I'm going to use more or less as just a layering element for underneath the Santas. I'm going to ink up the Santas and those scallop circles all at the same time. I'm going to kind of lay them on top of the cards where I think they're going to fit the best, and just kind of put them around, up and down, all around, all over the cards. So just inking some more edges of each of the cards. And these cards are going to be for Sandra's mom. She's going to take them to I believe it's a palliative care unit. So I'm going to take these down to Tennessee with me. I did not show it in the video, but I do have matching envelopes for these cards as well. I just thought it would be nice to have matching envelopes for them. So these are epoxy stickers that I got forever ago from Close to My Heart, and they actually match that punch that I have very perfectly. So I just layered some of them over top of these Santas. It's not necessary. I only had 4, so on the fifth card I make, you're gonna see that it does not have the epoxy on top of it. But I figured I had them and might as well use them up. So for this first card, you can see I added a piece of paper, made a banner, and now I wrapped some red and white baker's twine around it, and I'm just tying a knot, and then I'm going to add that Santa piece onto the card, just kind of underneath that baker's twine. Okay, so then I'm going to just glue that flat down to the card. I don't want to add any pop dots just because I don't know if people are going to be mailing this out. So I want to keep it as flat as possible. I'm going to take that white piece of pattern paper, I'm going to trim it down to 1 inch and just kind of glue that down and just trim it back just a little bit. I'm going to add some baker's twine to it with this Santa, and then I'm going to actually tie a bow here, and I'm going to fuss with it for a little while. Okay, so you can see here I'm trimming off those ends. I am going to add that Santa sticker, and I'm going to just kind of tilt it to the side and glue that straight down. So for this next card, I'm going to layer the pattern paper behind the card. I'm going to glue down that Santa. Just kind of place everything, and then I'm going to add some baker's twine underneath all of that pattern paper and just wrap it around the card. So just move that up just a little bit, add that Santa to the bottom, and then wrap that twine around a couple times and then tie it in a knot, and then this card is done. Okay, so pretty easy for that card. Then we're going to move on to the next one. And the next one is going to be, I kind of screwed up on this green piece. I'm going to cut it down to kind of like an arrow. It doesn't fit very well on the card, so actually what I'm going to do is save that for another card because I will most likely use it. And then I just found another piece of that green paper. Going to cut it into a banner shape, and then I'm going to ink up the edges, glue that down, add some twine all the way around it a couple times, tie it in a knot, and then I'm going to glue down that Santa piece. Well, first I'm going to glue this to kind of on an angle, glue down the Santa piece, and then that card is done. So the last card, we are going to, again, layer that pattern paper underneath, take this other piece of Project Life card, going to wrap some twine around the card a couple times, tie it in a knot, and then I'm going to add that Santa piece underneath the card, and then it's done. So you're going to see the close-ups here. Thanks for watching, and look for some more bulk card making, and have a great day.